Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our weekly challenge where I get to challenge the robots on VBO and you get to barrack me into decisions, or as we saw last week, there was a couple of decisions that you made for me that were improved the score, or we could say that, most definitely improved the score. And we're going to focus a little bit more on VBO this week because we've got our duplicate coming up this Thursday afternoon, and I want to encourage people to join us for that duplicate. And in the meantime, a day like today, I've got 8 random hands that are just going to pop up on the screen there. And we're going to play with match point scoring. So typical of what we would do in a normal duplicate session of the Bridge Club, rather than at in what we call a teams game or imp scoring. So this is a typical afternoon game of bridge, like a walk through the park. And this is the hand we've been dealt. So here we go. So this looks pretty straightforward. We've got a 1 heart opening bid. So I think that's where we'll start. West bids 2 hearts. Aha, everyone. Remember that. That's a Michael's Q bid. And that's a major Michael's Q bid, which means that when you Q bid the opponent's major suit, that will promise 5 cards in the unbid major. So that means West has 5 or more spades, and 5 or more cards in an undisclosed minor suit at this stage. So major Michael's Q bids are the unbid major and an undisclosed minor. Well, partners bid 3 hearts. Now 3 hearts is a competitive raise, simply just saying, as I've suggested in the notes where we looked at how would the third player or the responder bid after the intervening player makes a Michael's Q bid. And this is a classic example of one of those competitive raises. They've got 3 or more cards and hearts, 7 to 9 points total. So the opponents have now bid 3 spades. Well, we're definitely going to go to game on this hand. There's no question about that. But do we think there's anything more than game in it? I think too many losers. 2 losers in diamonds, 2 losers in clubs, 1 loser in spades. Yeah, that's 5 losers, and partner typically will have around about 9 losers for that point range of 7 to 9. So I think we'll simply bid 4 hearts and see where that leads us. Well, we've boarded in 4 hearts. Well, that's quite good because didn't really want to defend 4 spades on this hand, although partner's jack to 4 trumps might have been pretty useful. Okay, everyone. How do you propose that we play this hand? I think the opponent's probably going to lead 2 rounds of spades, and probably I'll be forced to trump in. So there's every chance that when someone does make a Michael's Q bid, that there's a big chance they'll end up holding a singleton trump. So let's think about the West shape here. I think West is likely to be holding 5 spades, which we know about, and perhaps, what's an even Steven, isn't it? We've got 7 diamonds and 6 clubs, so the odds are slightly in favour that West's second suit is the club suit. So that's how we would approach this hand. Well, there's no doubt what we're going to do with this trick. And we'll see. Deb's suggesting playing a club. Oh, West has switched to a diamond. Well, that's interesting. So I reckon West from that diamond switch definitely has 5 cards in spades and 5 cards in clubs, because I reckon that looks like a singleton diamond. I don't know what you think, but looks like a singleton to me. And if that's the case, it could be a doubleton. It's a high card, so it could be the start of an echo. So perhaps West's shape is 5-1-2-5, or even 5-2-1-5. So I think it's a good idea probably to plan to win this in the ace, with the ace in our hand, because we need to get across to dummy and finesse a heart if the suit breaks 4-1. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to win this in hand. They haven't managed to tap us yet, so it's likely that we have more trumps than the opponent. So ace of hearts, jack, there you go. Well, that already looks like a singleton, doesn't it? That's a singleton, a heart, probably from West, I'm guessing. I don't think they would have dropped it from a doubleton. So Do we do anything or try to do anything tricky on this hand? I don't think so. I think we're eventually going to end up with a losing diamond in the end game. West will have spades covered, and then we can simply give up the ace of clubs and take our 11 tricks. I'm actually quite happy that West didn't continue with spades, because that might have been a bit embarrassing with a 4-1 trump break. Any other thoughts? I don't think anything else looks too obvious, although I'm a little bit worried about being forced to trump in again when all of the trumps are gone and we haven't played the clubs. So should I start clubs now? Any thoughts about that? Because the club suit in essence is or could be blocked. So I think that might not be a bad play at this point in time if we play second round of trumps, just to confirm the 4-1 break. What we do. And now to play a club, because you can see if I draw all the trumps out and the opponents win the first round of clubs, the club suit is now blocked and they'll take my entry away from me. So I'm trying to keep my entry available now and also keep that, the ace of clubs is there. Ace of spades, well, too late, buddy, because now I'm going to trump that. I can comfortably trump that low. And I can play one more club to the jack, and then the suit is unblocked at that point in time. Hopefully East won't trump this. No, good. So now I play my trump back to my hand, because that was an important play, because East has 2 more trumps, remember? I played the last trump. And now I can play my club winners, and followed by my other club. Well, West has got the queen of spades, so we're going to discard the jack of spades here. And then we're going to give up a diamond in the end game. And East takes the last diamond trick. So how does that go? It's an interesting hand. So 10 tricks. We might have a look at our score sheet. I'll just pop that down a bit. Let's have a look at our history here, and what our history told us about the results on this hand. So 85%, interesting. And the reason that was is because there was a lot of little tiny things on that hand that were relevant, such as making sure that we played 2 rounds of clubs to unblock the suit. Because if we ran all of the trumps out, then we would have had no trumps left in our hand. And if East had won the first round of clubs as they did, you would have seen that the club suit would have been blocked. So we would have been able to play. If I can just show you the hand, I'll pop it here, show you the hand. If you can see it in the corner of the screen, it might be a little tiny to see, but if East had won the ace of clubs, which they did, if I then simply played trumps, I would have been left with not a single trump in my hand. And then when I play a club to the jack, how do I get back to my hand? Perhaps the first mistake I made here was winning the ace of diamonds in hand, but I was worried that I needed to have the king of diamonds in dummy in case there was a finesse required in the trump suit. But when the jack fell, that's obviously not what transpired. Okay, back to this, and let's have a look at a second hand here, everyone. Okay, here we go. East starts with a diamond opening. Any feelings about the south hand? You're vulnerable. You've got 13 points. Is this a hand that we really want to be involved? If we double, we'll partner with an awkward 2 clubs. I'm a little bit concerned about bidding on this hand with a 4-3-3 pattern. 4-3-3 patterns, if the opponents open the bidding, you can double, but you should try to have a good 14 or 15 points to do that. That might be the more appropriate hand. You could double over one club opening and have no problem. But over one diamond and certainly one of a major, doubling with a 4-3-3 is a bit risky. What's the worst thing can happen that if partner bids one of a major? Would that be such a bad thing? Perhaps not. The only problem I'm worried about is partner bidding 2 clubs. Oh, what the heck? I'm going to double. Just talk myself into it. Well, partner, they redoubled and partner bid 1 spade. That's fine. I'm going to pass. I don't have anything more to show. Oh, good on you, partner. Partner now bid 2 clubs. So what's partner got here? They've got 4 or more spades. They've got 4 or more clubs. Which is the more likely that they've got long suit on here? Is it the club suit or the spade suit that they're more likely to have more cards? I think they're more likely to have 5 clubs on this hand rather than 5 spades, because that's why otherwise they might have repeated the spades. So I'm going to pass and see where that leads us. Well, they doubled. Pass, pass. Penalty. Oh, the double of 1 spade was penalties. How unusual. Okay, do we pass 2 clubs? I think we will. I think that we may be up for a bad result here, hence why I was dubious about the original double. Rhonda's asking a question, what does the redouble from West mean? The redouble from West here, everyone says they've got 10 plus points. The opponents cannot play below, undoubled below 2 no trump. So West is really saying 10 plus, and they're looking for penalties. So on this particular hand, I think we will just pass it out. Okay. Oh well, this is not all terrible. We're going to lose, most definitely lose. East has opened a diamond, so things could be worse on this hand. Do we try to get the club suit going, or do we try to get the spade suit going? Do we try and cross trump the hand? I think the great problem about this particular hand is that if we play trumps too early, and remember we're vulnerable here, everyone, so I think we might have to play spades. East is going for a rough now. So East has got okay. East has got 2 spades, and that Jack of Hearts looked interesting. Okay, that can't be bad. So how are we now, everyone? Ooh. Very interesting hand at this point in time. I'm thinking maybe now play another club. Okay, so we've still got the Queen of Clubs out against us. And it's likely that that's sitting in the West hand. East is therefore shown up with 3 clubs. They've got probably 2 hearts and 2 spades. That means 6 diamonds, which is interesting because if they've got 6 diamonds, then I might be able to end play East to give me a ruff and discard in the heart suit. I think that might work here. So West must follow to the fourth round of spades. I don't think East has any other spades in their hand. So if I play ace of clubs and trump a club, and then play the jack of spades, because otherwise I'm currently, I've lost 4 tricks. I've got to keep it down to losing only 1 more trick here. I wonder if I can do that. So I'm going to play the ace of diamonds. And I'm going to plan to trump a diamond in my hand. And then when I play the jack of spades, oh damn. Why would they switch to a low trump from queen jack to 4? Now do I get a ruff and slough? No. Well, I might as well get a bad score. Yeah, I was right not to get involved on this option, everyone. My initial thought was correct. The 4-3-3 shape was bad. Yep, so that's a poor score, and probably deservedly so. Let's look at what happened. Yep. So 28% on that board. We had to pass the initial opening bid and let East-West play the hand. So as I said, 4-3-3 shapes are bad ideas to get involved in an auction when you've got a minimum opening bid. So here we go again. 14 high card points. Simple 1 diamond opening. 1 spade overcall, pass 1 no trump, 9 to 11. You may recall, everyone, in the lesson that I gave about how do you respond to partner's overcall when you are the advancer. And that's why typically, if this was a 1 spade opening, the advancer would show 1 no trump would be 6 to 9 points. Well, on this particular occasion, they're suggesting about 9 to 11. I suggest about 8 to 11, around about that range. So this is an example of how your responses change as the advancer opposite a 1 level overcall compared to opposite a 1 level opening bid. So we're going to pass West bids 2 clubs. East reverts back to spades, which we pass. And that becomes our final contract. Okay, jack of hearts from partner. So first of all, let's look at the option, everyone. West has promised 5 spades and 4 clubs, yep. And partners led the jack of hearts, which marks declarer with the king. But it also means that declarer is now going to win this in hand and have to play from dummy. I think that declarer is eventually going to have to start trumping in, and we might be able to strip declarer of some of those trumps they have in their hand, and they may not be able to. Interesting. So what do we do now? Do we play low and let partner switch to a diamond? That jack of spades is an interesting card from partner. I think we play low, let partner switch to a diamond. Oh, terrible play. Oh, what's that 9 of clubs? Is that top of a doubleton? So maybe partner, if we play low here, we might be able to give partner a club ruff. I think partner's after. Declarer might be 5-5 after all. We play low, and the jack wins. Now, hopefully this might hold the trick. No. No. Partners. Switch was too late, I'm afraid. Now we continue with the Queen of Hearts. Let's try another heart. It's the end of the hand. Yep, declarer was 5-5. So we couldn't, partner had to make an opening lead of the doubleton club in order for us to get any extra tricks. So declarer had 10 tricks on the go there. probably because things were quite friendly. But, so the Doubleton, oh, I did have 16 high card points. Good thought, everyone. Gee, I too busy listening to someone trying to call me in the background there. I didn't count my points very well. I had 16. I could have opened one no trump. Distracted from going from 2 clubs doubled. Okay, pass, pass, pass. Here we go. We've got 14 points this time. Decided to learn how to count. And we've got a 1 club opening bid. Yeah. Everyone, I think I'm going to start off with a club opening here. Partner responds a spade, which is 1/1, nothing special. And I'm going to take the low road here and rebid 1 no trump. Now that becomes our final contract. Oh, goodness. Now, discards, everyone. I think we should be keeping a long club in dummy. Okay. And we can afford to throw away a club here. The East makes switch. Club. Everyone, at the end of this hand, I'm going to go and switch off the phone in the background here. So if you'll give me a moment to do that, because it is terribly distracting for everyone plus me. What have we got here? We can afford to throw away a heart, because we've got the rest of the tricks if we do. Now we unblock our spades. There we are. There we go. Okay, everyone. Excuse me one moment. Somebody, same person trying to contact me 8 times. I think they might have given up by now. Okay, back live, sorry about that. Okay, that was probably a poor result again. Yep, distracted enough not to rebid my suit. Okay, here we go, pass, pass. This is a big hand, 19 points. Let's start off with a 1 hard opening bid. Okay, and that's where it leaves us. Okay, partner. I think this is a pretty straightforward hand, everyone. We cross over to one of dummy's trumps. We lead a spade to finesse. And hopefully we can, if that wins, then we can get 2 roughs and dummy. Trump across to dummy. Let me take a spade finesse. Well, this is good news. Let's try a club. Let's draw out our trumps here. I think let's try our last trump as well. The opponent's there we go, 10 tricks. Now, I could have done better on that hand, I think. But the problem I had was entries back and forth from declare and dummy. The spade finesse worked, so that ended up being a good thing. So crossing over to dummy, I took a little bit of a risk because if perhaps I could have played a low or the ace and another spade early, and I could have secured both roughs in dummy without the finesse being right. So that may have been a better play, but because the spade finesse was correct, then it meant that I was able to play the spades from dummy towards my hand, which ended up being an okay result. Let's have a look what they did at the other tables on this hand. So a lot of 170s, a couple of 110s, which is interesting, and someone ended up taking 600. Well, that's an exciting result. Don't know how they did that. Anyway, let's move on. Okay. Why is the score so bad? You mean for that hand, Harleen, or for the previous one? The reason the previous score was bad was because I failed for one no trump. Have a look at the one no trump hand. I should have with my 5-4-2-2, and I should have rebid 2 clubs rather than one no trump, because I didn't have the values to bid 2 hearts on the hand. I could, however, have rebid my club suit because my hand was more suit oriented than it was no trump oriented. If the ace queen of spades was the ace queen of diamonds, then the no trump bid would have been right. But because they weren't, then I really should have been rebidding this hand 2 clubs. I will blame that on being distracted by that constantly ringing phone in the background. So everyone, do you not open 2 clubs? Oh, you mean on the previous hand, Eleanor? I don't think so. Let's have a look at that hand. And I'm actually going to give a lesson this week about the 2 club opening bid. I'm not a big believer on opening 2 clubs with 19 points. I think that is, I won't say it's old fashioned, but I'll say that the 2 club opening bid with 19 points is the old Benjamin 2 bid. And Albert Benjamin, when he designed that bid, he said that I want to be able to utilize a bid where I can show 19 to 21 points and a 6-card suit. But people decided, well, they only heard the high card point idea. And my belief is that you need one solid, strong bid. And I think that should be 2 clubs, not 2 bids. Benjamin decided 2 clubs and 2 diamonds should both be strong. But I think if you utilize just one bid as strong, I think it needs to be better than this particular hand of 19 points. It needs to be a hand, if it's balanced or semi-balanced, to be at least 23 points. So for me, that's about 4 points short. If it's unbalanced, quite unbalanced, then it needs to be nothing more than, let's say, a 3-loser hand. And this, to me, if you looked at the hand, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 losers on the hand. Now, that's why I don't think that particular hand is good enough for a 2 club opening. And I think that's an approach that you should take to your 2 club bids. The whole idea of any hand of 19 plus points doesn't quite cut it for me. So that would be my thought about the 2 club opening bid. And as I said, we've got a lesson on that later on this week. So perfect timing. Okay, here we've got 14 points. Yes, I did I did say about repeating suits, and the question here is about how come I was thinking of repeating with that 5-4. Let's have a look at the hand, the 1-no trump hand. How come I was actually suggesting to repeat my 5-card club suit here, even though ostensibly it shows 6? Well, that's because sometimes you get stuck. There are hands that aren't appropriate for one bid over another. And I think sometimes you can find that hand where you do need to rebid 2 of a minor with a 5-card suit. But the hand will look quite unbalanced. It won't look like a balanced hand, or it will tend to have coverage in all of the unbid suits if you rebid 1-no trump. And that's what I was saying about hand 4. On hand 4, I actually didn't have the appropriate hand to be rebidding 1-no trump. I should have sat and studied it a little bit longer. It was really a hand where the unbid diamond suit should have been a big warning to me. Don't bid a no trump on this hand. But rebidding the 5-card club suit would have been acceptable. Is it wrong to show 5-4? Well, it is wrong on this hand, Etty, because if you did bid 2 hearts, that would be a reverse, and we simply don't have the values for that. So that was a definite no-no. Okay, let's go back to the hands in question. Okay, now 14 points, 4-4 in the reds. Let's open a diamond. 2 clubs past 3 clubs. Wonderful. Okay, I think a definite pass here. Okay. Oh, king of spades lead. Partner's got a lot of wasted values in the spade suit, it's going to look like here. Do we go passive on this hand in defense, or do we try to do something a little bit more aggressive? Well, we've got a diamond trick and we've probably got a heart trick to go with our spades, but West has overcalled 2 clubs, so I reckon West has got the bulk of the rest of the honours. Partner's shown up with king, queen of spades. They can hardly have another top card and not have chosen any action whatsoever. Partner's also got avoidance in clubs as well. I mean, my partner looks like they need a bit of an injection here. If we do overtake, which is what Helen's suggesting, if we overtake here and do what? Switch to a diamond? Not only that too, we might set up the spades for East-West. Overtake and lead trumps. I'm not sure how many trumps I can get on play here. That may not be a bad play. But partner's almost certainly marked with at least 6 spades on this hand. And I think that the declarer can probably quite easily get rid of their losing spades on their extra high cards in diamonds and hearts here, everyone. So, and I can't set up a ruff for anybody. I think playing low is a good play here. Simply play low and let declarer make their own way about on this hand. I don't need to do anything terribly aggressive here. So let's play low. I need exit cards as well. So do I play the ace here? Well, declarer probably can't have 5 diamonds. So I think we might just well take the ace of diamonds here. And maybe turn a diamond. Yeah, so declarer's got 3 diamonds. Three diamonds, 4 spades. So when they play a heart off the dummy, I reckon there's every chance they'll have a singleton heart here, king of hearts. So I've got to be careful about that I don't duck the heart. I've got to play a 7 of hearts here. Now ace. Now I can exit a diamond. There had doubleton. Well, I'm not quite sure what my partner was doing there. Everyone, what do you think? 7 spades to the king, queen, and they never took a call on the entire hand. I think that's perhaps a little bit odd. So let's have a look at this hand. Let's have a look at what, as I said to you, you're often at the mercy of your robot partner and robot opponents here. I can't see how I could have made any second bid on this hand. Partner had king, queen to 7 spades and never took one call at favorable vulnerability. And how can we go? How do we go here? If we guess things, 1, 2, we could lose 1 heart trick, 2 diamond tricks. We're cold as a frog for 4 spades. And that's probably what happened at the other tables here. No, some people, a lot of people allowed. So any questions here? A lot of people allowed the opponents to play in 3 clubs. Well, pretty ordinary from the robots, I think there. Let's go back. Got two more boards to try and recoup some of our losses here, everyone. So let's hope that we get some interesting hands to start with. 11 points. I'm not going to open this hand. I think I'll pass. Passed out. Wonderful. Exactly what you want in one of these games, isn't it? So 39% for passing that out. Okay. What did they do at the other tables? A lot of people passed it out, but some people decided to play in 4 hearts. Yes. I'm not sure what you would do, everyone, but if you can see this hand at the bottom of the screen here, the bidding went past to me and I was in 3rd seat with ace, queen, another, king, jack to 5. I would actually open that hand with 1 heart. Ace, queen, another spade, king, jack to 5 hearts, singleton diamond. I might even pop it up on the screen so that you can all have a look at the hand. Okay, pass from south, pass from west. I advise people to open on any hand in 3rd seat that they would have happily overcalled at the 1 level on. I think that even sometimes those hands may be as little as 8 points or so, but this hand most definitely I would have opened a heart. If North did open a heart, North-South can comfortably get to a heart contract. I'm also surprised that East passed that hand, everyone. It's just to show you that if you play against robots, they're obsessed with points, completely obsessed with points. On the previous hand too, we might as well even look at that as well. So whilst we're here, and have a look at some of these bids or these decisions that the robots took. Let's look at previous hand, which was hand 6. And again, we'll pop it up on the board. I can understand when the bidding went 1 diamond, 2 clubs, that perhaps with 5 spades, 5 points, that North didn't have a clear-cut entry into the auction. And if they didn't have a clear-cut entry into the auction, because 2 spades would show 10 plus, some people may play 3 spades as preemptive there, which that has some merit. But to me, even on the particular hand, it's only, suggesting it's only a 7 loser. It is only a 7 loser hand. Yeah, but having said all of that, entering the auction with 2 spades would be, I mean, that's why if the preemptive option was available of bidding 3 spades, then that would be a good idea. But I think most definitely, if you choose to pass on the first round, why on earth wouldn't you back in? As I think, who suggested it earlier? Someone suggested, Jane suggested 3 spades on the way back out. Why not? I mean, it's I assume that that's what you're thinking, Jane, is to not pass it out in 3 clubs, but to back in with 3 spades. I think that would be my choice. If I had the choice available to bid 3 spades on the first call, then I think I might have taken that option if 3 spades was available as a preemptive option. So Interesting hand, very poor bidding from our robot partner, but c'est la vie. Let's go back to the last hand here, everyone, and see if we can get something out of this session. We certainly need a good score to get up to even 50%. So pass, pass, it's our option. Everyone, clear cut takeout double to me. Singleton in the opponent's suit, 4 cards in the other major. Very happy to get involved on this hand. Well, good on you, partner. 4 spades from a passed hand. Very interesting. They better have a decent hand for me, I hope. Oh, well, they've got 3 small spades. I've got a lot of sympathy for that bid, actually, from North. I think that, now remember, the opening bid, everyone, was in the East hand. So let's take some time with this one. Opening bid was in the East hand. They've led off with the Jack of Spades, so it's denying the Queen. They could have perhaps the King behind that. So they could be leading the Jack from King, Jack, 10. And I reckon there's every chance that's what the position of the spade suit is. So just absorb that for a second, everyone. The Jack denies the Queen, yes? They have opened 1 spade. So it's more likely they have another top spade behind the Jack. So it won't be Ace, Jack, 10 because they wouldn't have led the Jack, underled the Ace against a trump contract. So here they've probably got King, Jack, 10 of spades. The reason I'm going through this is because it's a good idea to count points at some stage in the bidding. So that way you can try and place the missing honors. So anyway, let's give this a go. Because I'm a bit concerned here. Oh, they've won the Ace. Yep. So that's likely what's going on here. And then they switched to a diamond. I was worried about that. What can we do here, everyone, with the diamond suit? Perhaps East has got 5 spades and a doubleton diamond. If that's the case, I think it's important for me to duck 1 round of diamonds. I won't pop up the Jack because East might have to pop up with an honor. They don't. So now I'm going to duck. But then I'm going to win the next round of the diamond suit. Where's the King of Clubs likely to be, everyone? East, as I said, has got King, Jack of Spades. We know about the King of Diamonds. They did open in 3rd seat, though, and I'm not sure what the principle is for robots in 3rd seat, but either way, it probably doesn't matter whether I play finesse the club. I will finesse the club, and it's possible that East doesn't have any more diamonds. But if we want to get the club suit happening, we need to be careful with our entries back and forth here. I'd love to be able to trump a few spades in dummy. I think that's what I might do next, everyone. I think I will play a club to the Jack. If that loses and they cash a diamond, c'est la vie. That's the end of the hand. But if it loses and they may not be able to, yeah, they had a 3rd diamond. What a pity. They can't have singleton king clubs. Good. Okay, so now we can play 1 top trump here. Oh, trump's a 4-0. Interesting. With trump's 4-0, I can ruff a spade now. I can do that. Low because they have to follow suit. Now I can play the winning Queen of Clubs and see if they follow suit on that. Doesn't really matter. I'm just simply going to cross trump this hand anyway. And now when I play that. Okay. Okay. Pity partner got so excited, but having said that, I have a lot of sympathy for partner's bid. Interesting, 82%. Oh, everyone, we finished on 50%. Thank heavens for that. Just have a look at what happened on these last few cards here, on these last board here. The other tables, they went 2 down in a number of contracts. Perhaps they were taking their roughs a little bit too early. East did very well to another very good result. Well, yes, well, thank you, Stephen, but I think perhaps if I could take back some of my decisions in the earlier boards, I'm sure which I would, and I'd love to look at some of those decisions too. So this board here, 2 clubs. Let's have a look at the poor decisions that I took, which led to poor scores. I did mention about the whole idea of doubling with a 4-3-3 and how often it's a poor option. And hindsight is, yeah, well, it is. Hindsight is good, but at the same time, you will recall that when East opened a diamond, I was very reticent about doubling on this hand. 13 points, 4-3-3 shape, only 1 poor 4-card major. I think Stephen's saying that the robot was the problem. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm talking about my decisions here, Stephen, so thank you for your support. But on this hand, I don't think I mean, it can be okay to get involved over 1 club because partner can always pass. Why on earth partner removed from 1 spade doubled to 2 clubs doubled? I'll never know. But 1 spade doubled might actually have succeeded on this particular hand because that double here from the redoubler was a penalty double. And I think that if we'd been left to play in 1 spade, there's every chance we might have made that contract. So anyway, I'm not pleased about the decision to double here. And if I didn't double, East-West would have gotten to probably some number of no trumps. And they might have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They might have made 120, I think. We could have taken 2 diamonds, 2 clubs, and perhaps gotten a heart trick in the wash as well. So 120, and I think 120 minus 120 may not have been such a poor result.